Miracles. Would you please come up to the microphone again? Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
That's Gladys Miracles.
That is Gladys Miracles. Would you please welcome her back?
Well, I'm going to read 3 love poems, which are inspired by the stars. And the first one is the love poem written by a father to his small new daughter. It's written by Edmund Cusick, who was the head of imaginative writing at Liverpool John Moores University, and my colleague and dear friend. The old stars. I had to put this on. Text is a bit small. The old stars. I want to teach her, the old stars, to be the one to trace these patterns in the cold hours of the dark, her small hand at my sleeve, to show her the perpetual surprise of stars above these fields and hills, the one to say, "See, there's his belt," and at my voice stars dance into beasts, the eagle, the lion, Cygnus, the great bird, the swan, Hernig, hunter, rising in the east, his glittering antlers, blue and white, his loins a smear of light, and glinting at his feet, the hound of death, the brightest promise in the sky, the shape the people call the wain, the plough, the 7 stars, the knuckled hand of God, and in the west, the salmon, twisting its starry tail, the 7 water sprites, swimming in the mist, too swift to count. They'll wrap around us, legions of them, forgotten stars from before the cities, before childhood, crowding over the trees, sheltering in that familiar dome, the long river of the Milky Way. Second poem is by W.H. Auden, and I was privileged to be in the very last public reading that W.H. Auden did when he arrived back in Britain from America, and it was at the Poetry Society. He died not long afterwards, and it was a great loss to our poetry in the English language. But he had his zenith really in the 1930s, and he had a very dry voice and a very, and I can remember how he uttered his lines. This is a poem about the stars, but it's really about human relationships, which is typical of Auden. I'm going to try and imitate his way of reading, because it doesn't suit my voice. The more loving one. Looking up at the stars, I know quite well that, for all they care, I can go to hell. But on earth, indifference is the least we have to dread from man or beast. How should we like it were stars to burn with a passion for us we could not return? If equal affection cannot be, let the more loving one be me. think I am of stars that do not give a damn. I cannot now I see them say, I missed one terribly all day. Were all stars to disappear or die, I should learn to look at an empty sky and feel its total dark sublime. Though this might take me a little time. Now, the final poem is from my quite long, romantic, terribly romantic sequence called Snowbird. Snowbird being a kind of emblem of passion at its height in a love affair. Now, I was in the Vale of Clwyd and Clwyd Hills in a little caravan that we had for some years and separated from my loved one. And looking up at the sky invoked this desire poem. And it's quite short, but it uses nature for imagery and so on. In these moon-dipped mountains, engulfed in a dense black bowl, I wanted to press vast love prints on the sky, so that you, enclosed in separate distance, can read the night and know my silent meaning. But the sky seems impaled on stars, time-speared, remote. I send messages with dun-winged birds, find expression in trees' dark gestures, and in their secret hearts.
Love the thought of the moon-dipped mountains, and I adore that sardonic tone of Douglas, good man. Right. The lady who introduced me so nicely is now coming to join us to read herself. Great. I'll keep it short. My first poem is a different interpretation of stargazing. Rise and fall. With cartoon-style eyes, pupils pinging with stars, we gaze at folk on screen, stage, and sports field. With cartoon-style hearts visibly beating in our chests, we pine for folk on CD, DVD, and vinyl. With cartoon-style arms elongated for an embrace, we hug our dreams close to our chest, heart, breast. With cloud-sized tears rolling down our cheeks, we cry as folk burn out, fall from fame, fortune, glory, the sky. This one's a bit more traditional, but a little bit upside down as well. Australian skies. A fleeting view of kangaroos on the dusk horizon carries my mind away from massive steaks and salads, cowboy bread and beer, wine and women singing. My eyes peer ever deeper into clear, darkening skies, towards Orion, the hunter's belt and sword, and Canis Major, his hunting dog, hanging in the northeastern sky. The moon joins planets, brightly showing yellow, blue, and red. White stars are untouchable, so little space between, and moving backwards, as it seems to me, a northerner. far from my own hemisphere, mind escaping current revelries, I feel the pull of timelessness, of Aboriginal ancestors, spirituality, a universal magnitude and infinite constellations here beneath these southern skies.
Nice. Down under. Thank you very much, Vicky. And now I'd like to invite Kemal Horton to come back and read a poem to us.
Stars. This is far-off light. You, ghosts of ancient gods who twinkle in the night, whose stories wrap with secrets we can barely glimpse through the white noise of your barren voice. You who pose eternal questions. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody? I, pulsing to the telescope, debulks your measurements. Numbers fall to scraps of parchment. Deep Space Voyager photographs unravels your DNA through 13 billion years, and still there is so little. You speck of light, too distant to be quelled by our paltry exorcisms.
Thank you very much. Come on. Right. I'd like to invite Eleanor Reith back, please. Could you come?
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this poem is in 3 parts, but short parts. And it's set in Anglesey, and it's from my new collection, which is called The Well at Winter Solstice. And this poem is called St. Cyriel's Well. Midnight. A half-dressed man is sitting on the ledge in a small hut, mortar-clad and damp with dew, his knees folded to his chest, long hair as white as the light which floods the grass, each stalk bright like a lightning-struck tree. And he is waiting for me to come and look, but I am still staring over the wall. He has huge silver eyes like pools. He is the pool, now a man, sat waiting to hold me, to put his wet fingers around my waist. And I want to go to him, but I am also in the stream, in the small brook which feeds the sea. I am barefoot and wearing only white, and the night is brittle cold, and there is no one else, apart from the moon, which glistens as I glisten, for I am the moon. I am the reflection on the water as it runs, sequential, down towards the sea. I am a ripple, I am a wave, moving out into the sticky blue, flattening and thinning, diffusing like light, mixing with the swell to form a deep, swollen shadow. And he is throwing copper pennies into the well, which cascades waves like feathers over skin. And he is walking to the stile and the white limestone walls, and then he is not there at all, never has been, and I am now reeling, coiling. The moon above is who I am, trickling down to the sea, to the sea. Cool crystal light within each gesture. Clean and clear is my thought. Crisp and horizontal is my action. 2 silver ovals shimmer back from my surfaces. I thin outwards into the water, fully lost and fully formed. Dawn. I am a fish in a pond low near the bushes. I am in the branches of the tree in the high bird song. I am in the church tower leaning on the bell. I am in the grass as the trowel rips through. And I am in the water as it strains through earth to the sea. And I am in the thin heat of the April sun. And he has gone into the daylight, back into the stone, a body laid into the limestone dusted with moss. He faces into the stone and watches the dark. For he only shines when the moon is full, for he is the moon in the rock, a fallen moon, rolling out from the source and into the night. A grounded moon, a dry-landed moon, lying on the shore like an upturned fish. Dawn, dusk, even. Psalms seep out from the priory like a whisper, as monks like slice mackerel on wooden plates and hear only the waves, the only constant that rock and hold them through the
Play a solo piece called Are We Alone? And we do wonder that, don't we? Are we really alone down here? I hope to God we are. I don't want any aliens on my doorstep. Is it?
I do. Before I play this, I do want to thank Felipe at the back there, who's provided some lighting for this event, and also Tom Hutchinson at the back, who's provided technical support in the shape of a keyboard, and that's very well.
piece. We're very, very privileged to have had her this afternoon, so should we give her another round of applause? I'd like to thank all the readers this afternoon. It's been a really varied and fantastic afternoon of poetry. Imagine how much there is in, say, about stars and the moon. You wouldn't believe it, would you? I'm going to finish with a poem called There Is. There is the blue evening, drifting down like muslin, muffling the sounds. There is the tall pine, black night sentry rooted in its ground. There is the water tower, blocking half the sky with brick and steel bulk. There is the first start of evening, peering over its shoulder in a small, shy sulk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jill, and thank you very much for coming all the way from Devon to be part of our first poetry festival here. So apart from thanking Jill, I'd like to thank again Izzy and James for your wonderful musical contribution. Our key readers today, Gladys Mary, Eleanor, Anna and Colin, and then the other people who are from the organising team of Poetry Festival, Celia and Paul Harris, Paul Waring and Carol, who've also done so much leading up to this festival and also run the poetry picnics that you'll hear about later on. But of course the festival wouldn't be anything without Judy Ugonna, whose idea it was and who has put in so much work, and she always hates it when I thank her. But Judy, will you please come up?
Sunday afternoon in May, when the weather is beautiful outside, when the last day of the Premier League is on television, and when the Oxton Secret Gardens are going on in another part of the world. So thank you all for coming. But I'd also like to thank all the performers who've been absolutely fantastic. And could I ask them to just give us 1 minute to take a group photo of them before you all go out, hopefully, to get a free cup of tea, cup of coffee, or a piece of cake. Okay, thank you very much.